It's the Daily Dog.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being here today. Another reaction coming up for you today. Thanks for all the love and comments over the last few weeks as I've been doing these. It's opened up a whole new world for me, and I'm very thankful for you guys taking the time to write and include such poignant and interesting comments. That is not always the case online. So today, a lot of you said you should look at Dream Theater, and that's what we're doing today. We're going to go for Dream Theater. Now, I have never been to a Dream Theater concert. I have heard some of their music. One of my very best friends is a huge Dream Theater fan, and on trips up to Maine as we vacation together, he's like, check this out, and we'd listen to it. So I know the musical aesthetic, so I'm not coming at this blind. I also have attended a concert with Petrucci there. It was a G3 concert in Philadelphia a couple years ago. Phil Collins was there. I think Satriani was there too. It was a very cool concert. I have never seen so many gentlemen in black t-shirts. But it was fun. So I asked my friend, what would you suggest? And he suggested, for one of these videos, do a relatively shorter one. So he suggested The Dance of Eternity, which is an instrumental, as I understand. So we're just going to hear some music, and I picked this one. It says Breaking the Fourth Wall. I believe that it has orchestral musicians along with it. So I am excited to hear this. I don't know this piece. I may have heard it in the past, but I really don't. I'm not really prepared for what I'm about to hear. I expect there to be virtuosic playing and unbelievably complex arrangements for these very talented musicians to perform. So let us get into it. Dream Theater, Dance of Eternity. Here we go. What is that? Somebody paid way too much for that intro. Just saying. Okay. Power. It's a big low D. There he goes. He's in the crowd. Heavy triplets at the bass. Cool. Yeah. They telegraphed that that resolution with the way that the rhythm went. As you can see, in the keyboard player's left hand, that D became a dominant and it moved them to G, at least for now. I'm sure there will be lots of crazy stuff over it. He's currently playing what looks like D minor over G. Interesting. Here we go. That E. Wow. Wow, the keyboard player's all over the joint. They moved down to over D, as you can see in his left hand. It's nice to have that reconfirmed. But the thing that strikes me, and the thing that always gets me with metal concerts, is the double kick drum. It is not good for my health, y'all. That thing is just way invasive. I know with music like this, it may be the interesting sound or the power sound. It just turns me off personally, because it's just so overwhelming to me. It's like a hammer. Anyway, let's see where we're going. This is unbelievable, though. Half steps. There they are in the pit. Looks like. Double kick drum again. It's kind of moved to, I think, around E. So they're jumping around. I'm trying to kind of hear like large sections of where they kind of land up. I know there's a ton of virtuosic playing over these chords, and it would be way too complex for me to try to figure out on the fly. But I want to look into it. It's really fascinating to me. When I said half steps before, when they were around G, they kept playing a lot of A flats, and when they were like around D, they keep playing a lot of E flats, and when they were around A, they keep playing a lot of B flats, and upper leading tones, upper half steps, and lower half steps. It's something I've noticed with some of these metal or progressive metal bands is a lot of this. Especially around what I would consider tonic, a half-step relationship, at least temporary tonic where they are. This is really great stuff. Wow. Let's keep going. I have to stop it again. I'll back it up a little bit. Let's go to that. So that's an iPad. That's a Mackie board interface. I think we have one similar over at the church where I work. Not that our church, but everybody has their own digital interface. Like that's his version of his board, and he can dial in whatever he wants to hear. It's really cool, that technology now that bands have, because back when I was in college and you were reliant on the guy running the board at the local, bar on a weeknight or a weekend, when you're going to try to play, and he may or may not be sober or know what he's doing. I'm just going to play it from here. This is really cool. No way. How fun was that? It's awesome. It's awesome. But can't the drummer do something more interesting than just 16th notes on the double kick? It drives me nuts. Wow. Now the bass player gets to play. Kind of moved around. It's an A minor in there. Would you look at them do that? They're doing the same virtuosic line right next to each other, and they're mirroring themselves and playing that virtuosic line exactly together. That's incredible, y'all. I mean, we have a history of virtuosic performers throughout history, both in the classical world and in the rock world. But having people in more than one person in a band that can hang like that with the other player, it's an all-star lineup. And the keyboard player was playing with like the same thing with the guitar a little bit ago. It's really astounding stuff. It's a really good use of the string section when you have an amplified band like this against a regular orchestra or a regular instrumentation of an orchestra. It's very difficult to get the orchestra to sound in the room, or even with the help of microphones and amplification, as though they are cohesive with the overall instrumentation. You'll notice a lot of power strings. They're playing in octaves too, so they can really cut through the texture. And that's what you heard there. They're not doing a lot of virtuosic stuff like the band is. They're trying to add color to the virtuosity that's already there. There's those half steps again. The keyboard player is doubling him at like a harmonic. That it shows you how smart they are and how well trained they are and how much they understand exactly what they're doing. I'm going to back this up a little bit. I would try to count off exactly what they're doing, but it sounds like it's like the meter is based on 16th notes, which are staying consistent, but they're changing like every other measure. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 6 and 3s and 4. It's all over the joint, and they've got it kind of memorized. I'm sure it's very, very complex. So I'm not even going to attempt to try to follow along. It's fantastic. For a second, it sounds like it's a compound meter. Now it's back to an asymmetrical meter. Sequence. Cool. Well, it cut off. Well, there we go. Dream Theater, Dance of Eternity. Well, that's the thing. foot's coming, my shoe's coming off. Sorry. That's the thing. How much of a dance was that? It was very difficult. I mean, can you maybe I've had like white guy moves, I could dance to that, but the meter was all over the joint. It was exuberantly placed and really, really powerful to me. Maybe that's what they're going for. I have a soft spot in my heart for music that is conceived and performed by virtuosos for virtuosos. They're rare musicians. You know, we have like in the history of classical music, virtuosos. You would have like Rachmaninoff, Liszt, Chopin on the piano, Rostropovich on the cello, Paganini on the violin, and they would like in Paganini's in that regard. I mean, he would write music for himself to play to show off his technique. And I know that these guys are extremely well trained and have a background in going to music school, and they're off doing their thing. This is as complicated and virtuosic as any orchestral piece of its length that you'll ever find, and just as powerful and just as important and worthy of acclaim. All that is written down for them to play on that chart, and there's changing meters and unbelievable patterns that they have to memorize and play exactly together in real time in front of a lot of people who have paid a lot of money to see them. I have the utmost respect for them. I hope to be able to see them someday. It was very cool to get to see G3 a couple years ago. My friend has taken his teenage sons to Dream Theater, and I'll just say that like one of my favorite things he says about him, one of his kids, like they had gotten the ability to kind of go down closer to the stage, and so they were kind of hanging out, and his kid really didn't know how to react to all of it. It was really overwhelming to him. You know, imagine like a 14, 15-year-old kid, and then like the pyrotechnics go off and burn, and the kid goes, and he was hooked, right? And so he loves playing. The kids learning to play guitar now. So kudos to the musicians of Dream Theater. This was a fun watch, and I thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight and for this reaction. We will see you next time on The Daily Doug.